All right. That volume's up. Just situating the boat right quick. Pretty nice day. As you can see, it's dry. It's not raining. All right. Check the chat. Hopefully everyone's having a good old Sunday afternoon. Appreciate everyone tapping in. Brianna Price, appreciate you tapping in. It is Washington State. It is 2:42 p.m. here in Washington State. Brianna Price, hi. How are you? Hello. Konnichiwa. We're fishing for largemouth bass, and I'm using an 8-inch swim bait. I'm not fishing for fish under 3 pounds. I want them 3 to 5 pound fish or bigger. Average size fish I catch on this bait is a 3 to 5 pound fish. It's not that heavy of a swim bait compared to other swim baits. For being introduced into swim bait fishing, this is a perfect swim bait to get introduced to. Doesn't take special gear to throw it. It's just a Kitech 7.8 on a hook that I do some modifications on. If you're just tapping in, I appreciate it. Last weekend, I caught a 4-pound 11 ounce on this very swim bait at this lake. I caught 2 fish, a 3.6 and a 4.11. .411 was my biggest bass I caught in the month of December. Normally, they don't really bite all that good in the month of December here in the PNW. But for some reason, it's been a little bit weird weather and abnormally warm, lots of rain. So I'm catching the fish a little bit longer into the season than normal. Which is all right with me. But it's still kind of hit or miss. Still should be able to find a fish. Still should be able to find a bite. Don't have all that much time. Have about hour and 45 minutes. Have less than 2 hours. Be sure to hit the like button. Comment, like, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. In fact, that 4-pound, 11-ounce bass I caught here had a trout tail sticking out of its throat when I was unhooking this swim bait from its mouth. It's all on live as well. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Sunday afternoon, no matter where you're in the world, I hope you're good to go. Hope you're enjoying your day, doing what you love to do. I'm here to share with everyone how I catch my fish. When catching fish like this for a strong 20 years. The Kitsap Swimbait is fairly new to me. I've still been fishing it for about 5 years. But I've been fishing really hard for 20 years. Early to mid 2000s when I picked up this nasty habit. Woo! Trying to grab the phone with the fucking lure. Good thing the phone's strapped in. Ah, damn. That'll be the second time I lose the phone at this lake. Yeah. All right, let's put you all up on the harness. That shit was crazy. Creek Seeker Fishing. Thank you. Loose on the loose. What's up, man? I guess you just witnessed me about to throw my phone off in the water. Junie, how you doing? Jason in Mississippi, how you doing, man? I'm in Port Orchard, Washington right now. I'm pretty sure it's the only lake that's there. All right, let's put you all up on the harness so you see what I see. I don't know why all the sun's got to be. It's about to be covered up here. Not supposed to be sunny, I don't think. It's supposed to be rainy. Oh well. That's a really bad cast. I caught a 314 over here in this very area probably 3 weeks ago. On this same bait. The water temp actually rose by just some minute numbers, but it still somehow rose. I guess all the warm rain that we've had. Got to be rain from the south. either southwest or southeast. Usually all the rain from the north is cold as ice. All that Arctic air. I think this was some tropical stuff from the southwest. There's some lakes that are local, or not local around here, around me per se, but on the other side of the water, over Tacoma, Pierce County, King County, some of those lakes are kind of blown out right now. I just heard from a friend of mine earlier today. We went to Lake X, and Lake X was pretty much blown out from all the recent rains here in Washington State. Some places are worse than others. That was a really bad cast. There's no fish in that tree. No tree pounder. Normally this water is a lot colder than what it is right now. It's 48.72 right now. The water clarity is just perfect. It's still clear. It's not all blown out. Doesn't look like chocolate milk. Hershey factory. Now, with that being said, normally your water clarity on your northern end of your lakes are going to be the dirtiest compared to the south end of the lakes, where it's always you're going to find your cleaner water on the south end of your lakes. I always like a little bit of stain, especially for spinnerbait, because I'm a big spinnerbait person, big bladesman. So I prefer just a slight stain over just gin clear water, but I prefer a little bit of wind as well. And overcast, those are ideal conditions. Bright sunny, I don't know. Still like it in the summertime, but I feel like the fish hunt way better when it's like this. I could totally picture getting smoked right in this little pad field. One of the last little pad fields on the lake. Not many pads are left. I looked away and bumped that tree right there. Just about set the hook right there. The no look. I'll check the chat here shortly. I appreciate everyone tapping in on a Sunday afternoon. I got just a couple of hours. I guess it's still dark or it just got dark in Mississippi. This is the far north. I'm probably 2 hours from Canada. I'm out on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. The Northern Ring. Come on. About 3-4 weeks ago, I caught one off of this corner up here on this very bait. I mean, that's a big cattail patch right there for a bass not to be tucked in there wintering. All I have to do is rig one of these up and get the punching in there like they do in California and Florida. and elsewhere. Might just pull one up. I know it's like about 2.5, 3 foot right here at the front. And that's plenty of depth for them to dig in there, like an Alabama tick, basically. That stuff will eventually it'll hold heat, that thick grass. That's why they like to get up in the milfoil and the hydrilla. That's where they eat the crawfish at, and the bluegill. Shit like that. If you got deep grass on your lakes, it's even better in the wintertime. This lake is only 10 feet deep, so it doesn't have a lot of your typical features. It has some of them, but it doesn't have a lot of them. Some of these smaller man-made lakes are just basically featureless lakes. This one's got a lot more going on than the average lake. But most of our lakes are all toilet bowl shape type shit. Like some Florida water. I was told there's going to be some wind today, but this ain't enough wind. Tomorrow's going to be windy. I think Tuesday's going to be 15 to 25, which is totally ideal for this time of the year for this swim bait to get bit by big fish. Coming up on the winter solstice. Winter solstice is pretty cool. From that point on, we gain daylight. A little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening. Every day. By February, it's staying light till about 6 p.m. So that's why I love the winter solstice. Even though it's the start of the winter, I'm always looking ahead. All right, I'm going to check the chat here shortly. Appreciate it, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday afternoon. Hope all is well. Claudia, I love her. Ernie Stoner, what's up, man? Rooster tail. Yes, sir, but I ain't got none of them in the boat. I have some at home. I have a whole tackle box full of rooster tails, inline spinners. Topwater, I wish, man. Michael Major, man. That's my go-to, man. That's my claim to fame, man. That's how I caught my biggest bass. Topwater. That would be 0 pounds today. We'll put you all back up on there. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, buddy. Nothing today. I got out here a little bit later. I was doing some other stuff. New video of mine did drop today. It doesn't really... Last year, I released the same video, I think sometime in middle of November. And we're at middle of December right now. And I'm just now dropping that video. And it's still warm water, in my opinion. Like, my newest video called Cold Weather Box. It's just a simple little box that I put together over the few years that I've been doing this. And it's what I usually mess with once the water temp gets below probably 45 to 40 degrees. It gets pretty difficult to catch some northern bass. So I made a video and released a few like tips and baits that I utilize to catch fish in the wintertime. I'm wanting to bet 100% that you can do that across the entire country. Just waiting to see one come out and smoke that bait. Water's awful high right now. It's perfect. I love that. A lot of the grass is starting to die. You don't have to contend with it. There's still some floating shit here and there. Right there. But it's clear for the most part. You throw your traditional baits without having too much of a headache. Back to what I was saying with the cold weather box, I'd rather just put it out and not need it than never to put it out. So, but definitely already different kind of weather we had from last year to this year. But all that can change ever so fast. I'm gonna skip something underneath this dock right here in front of me. Here we go. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Donk. Come on, murder this thing. Oh, had a Grinch stole the Kitech. What the fuck just happened? I can't see underneath there, but something just donked my shit. Can't see if it's a stick. I see a pipe, but it was to the left of that white pipe underneath there. There's that brown one on top. There's that pillar, and then there's a 45. But oh shit, that was wasn't far enough in there. Huh? Could have been a bite. More than likely, it was. Damn. Slick side bass. There's a bunch of rock underneath that part of the dock. I didn't hit a rock, but definitely a fish attractor. I could just make that thing go fairly slow for being a big swim bait. Keep your rod tip up. I got it on straight braid right now. And look how fast I'm reeling it. I got something on it. Minimal effort, and that tail's just the wagon. That blade spinning, doing what it's designed to do. That's the shit that we want here. All that right here, right now. Uh-huh. Check the chat, see what's up. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday afternoon. Moose on the loose, not yet, but I did just get a bite. Hopefully you got to see it. I swung on it. Daniel Benedict. Thank you, buddy. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to share this with your fishing buddy. Don't. They're gonna jump. They're gonna fly off. Oh shit, I know where their dock went. Oh, that might be it up there on the bank. Seen another dock, piece of dock in somebody else's yard further down the lake. I sure wish I was fishing tomorrow. And that high wind, oh man, them fish are gonna be chomping. Not every fish, just the big ones. Just the fish that matter. The better than average sized bass. So if you're watching this and wanting to get into swim bait fishing, it's a great introductory rod and reel. It's a great combo for swim bait fishing. The rod is rated 1 to 4 ounces. I can't get enough. It's a Johnny Morris Carbon Light from Bass Pro Shop. Not the Carbon Light 2.0, nothing like that. It's just a Carbon Light, plain Jane Carbon Light, Johnny Morris. I know shit's on sale right now, just before the holidays. But the rod is the main deal right here. It throws this bait perfect, but it opens up the door for, baits up to 4 ounces. You could easily throw a 8-inch mag draft on this rod and reel. You could throw glide baits up to 3-4 ounces. You could throw top waters. You could throw the Whopper Plopper 190, which weighs close to 3 ounces or under 3 ounces. I've caught one of my 30, just shy of a 31. I caught over a 30-pound sack of fish with my best 5 fish here in Washington State with a Whopper Plopper 190. So I highly recommend picking up this rod. I know this shit's got to be on sale or something. It opens the doors for top water, swim baits. You can pitch and flip this coming summer. I'm going to show everyone how I flip this lake. This lake is a beast with the punching. Summertime punching. 100 degrees out, oh, we punching. Punching pads, punching grass, pads. It's a big grass lake, so it gets jungle-like by July. There's a good launch area. I'm guessing this combo is probably about 230 or maybe just under 200. $200 to $230 is what I would suspect. The combo. It's a 7'9" rod. 7'9" heavy action. Rated 1 to 4 ounce. Perfect. Super light. It's user friendly. It's not like a pool cue, a broomstick. But definitely take care of all your big shit. I'm not even talking about big shit. You can't throw a 10-inch mag draft. Well, it can, but it won't do it effectively. It's a 6-ounce bait on a rod that's rated for up to 4 ounces. And there's swim baits that weigh like up to a pound. We're talking big baits. But this is like on the lower level of the big bait. Definitely gonna flip a whole bunch more at this lake next summer. Thanks for joining. Thanks for tapping in on a Sunday afternoon. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm fishing a Kitech 7.8 right now. We're in Washington State. I'm gonna check this dock, and then I think it may be time to make a move. Or we shoot over there and check that spot shit over there real quick. Definitely need to get to this other side. It's 3:16 p.m. Fishing an 8-inch swim bait right now. If you guys and gals hadn't known what I'm fishing with, the Magnum size underspin. This whole area is normally all covered in lily pads. Not many pad stems are around anymore. There's a few, but not many. I think it's time to make a move. Since we're strapped for time right now, we're just going to go down and float back up on the other side. I got these other traditional baits to fish as well this time of the year. I got the umbrella rig. It's a 3-wire, 3-bait rig. I also have a big bladed spinnerbait and not your average square bill crankbait. I also have a jig, 17 or 50-pound floor car or 50-pound braid. I also have a 10-inch mag draft and a 7-inch glide bait. Bass Pro Shop XPS Swerve glide bait. One of the best $20 glide baits out on the market. All right. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday afternoon. All right, here we go. Well, that didn't really work out. I tried some James Bond shit, but it didn't really work out. Probably for the best. I probably would have shit whipped myself out of the boat on live. That would have been a great content. Yes. Just see this guy go pew, right out of the boat. Where he going? Projectile. Man, he was just fucking around till he found out. Man, that'll wake you up as soon as you hit that water. Go into shock real quick. Yes. All right, come on. Where's that bite at? Got one bite. Looking for another one. Looking for one to actually eat it. I gotta put you all back up on my chesty here. Let me skip one underneath it right quick. Boo hoo hoo. Thanks for joining. I'm currently hunting with a Kitsap 7.8. It's 8-inch swim bait for those that don't know. I fish it on a modified 10-aught owner beast flashy swimmer hook. I took that stupid little weak wire off and put extra hardware on it. Eliminates that little wire. I've never had this little concoction ever fail me. I have the hook rust out before this fails me. Once that little wire goes bye-bye, it renders the hook, the flash and appeal of the hook, of the whole setup, is that blade. There's some days that I feel like that blade is really important to be spinning right below it. So if I lose that blade, that bite kind of goes bye-bye. They're getting like a 2-for-1 with this deal right here. I'm not looking for multiple fish today. I'm just looking for one fish that wants to fully eat this swim bait or fully eat my offering, whatever it may be. I got 7 rods on the deck of the boat. I don't have a fairy wand in the boat. I did take it out. I probably should have left it in here, but I didn't have much time. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. All right, this next spot, the next 50, well, next 30 yards should be high quality, high percentage area. Shit, we're gonna hit the dock. Need to do that. I did get bit here a couple weeks ago on this very bait. I guarantee it was a really good fish. I have not ran into that fish yet or since. It was right by this white pipe, right out in front of it. Getting to be late in the day. The bigger fish that are up shallow should be on the prow, actively seeking food. All right, let's throw one over there. The Swimbait is fairly weedless. I can make it even more weedless if I wanted to, but I don't mind having to fix this. Sometimes when you modify this from the original form, you need to make sure, I'm going to do an updated video here shortly, but you got to make sure that you don't put too much of shit on there, or you're going to have problems, because a lot of times it goes like that. That's one of the only drawbacks of doing this, but to me, that's not a pain in the ass. What's funny is when it gets hung up like that, it still spins, just not as free as this. But if you put on too big of a blade, then it isolates the blade, and the blade will kick out to the side, like out here. And that's not really what you want. You want it right here. So a fish will see that and want to come up. But a lot of times they'll come up and try to smoke this blade. And if you don't do this modification, that's a lot of times when you lose your blade. Or if you make a shitty cast and smack a tree or a dock or whatever it may be. But I couldn't tell you how many times I've watched a fish come up behind it and try to eat that stupid blade. A big 4 or 5 pounder as well. Just come up and just like an elephant eating peanuts. Stupid. This has cleared up a lot. 48.59 is the water temp right now. If you remember last week, I think it was 46, 47 degrees. So it's rose almost 2 degrees. Probably some spots on the lake. I'm sitting in 3.5 feet of water. So when I'm fishing with the Kitech 7.8, I'll actually buy a couple of 6.8s as well, in the same colors, or maybe even in a different color. 6.8 I want to utilize around smallmouth. Don't get me wrong, smallmouth will still crush this 7.8. I feel like you would get way more bites overall using a 6.8. With smallmouth, I like to probably have an open hook on them some bitches. Those things are like crazy wolf type fish, hunting packs and shit. Not like largemouth. Largemouth do, but they're just not like that. The big ass tree right here. "3:33 p.m. in the PNW. I think we're about 30 to 45 minutes away from sundown. Probably an hour away from sunset. Or not sunset, but from dark. Probably just a little bit past 4:30 for last light type shit. I hit that rock with that shit. If I had that stupid little weak wire on there, it would have busted off already. If you're a big spinnerbaitist like me, I have a lot of old spinnerbait blades from old spinnerbaits that I'm able to recycle and reuse on these rigs. I can even upsize it, maybe 1 or 2 sizes up, just depends. But once again, you don't want to go too big or overpower the whole rig. It'll make it all look stupid. Been there, done that. But the original blade that comes with it is a hammered blade, which is really cool. I don't know what's better, gold or chrome. I just happen to have gold on this one, and it gets bit. That's not to say if I had a chrome one on, it wouldn't get bit. I don't think they're that pressured fish to be that sissy-like with their food. I think they're going to eat first and ask questions later. But from that newest video of mine, if I had 2 baits to put in my arsenal, it would be a blade bait and it would be a DT6. A Rapala DT6 crankbait in that demon craw or that red crawfish color. It's a bad mamma jamma up here. I've caught fish in a snowstorm on that DT6. Perfectly timed a snowstorm. Just to cross that, check that off of my bucket list of catching a fish in a snowstorm. It's the coolest thing. I've always seen that as a kid, and I was like, man, that's got to be me. I got to do that. I made it happen. It was like a blizzard, freaking whiteout. I couldn't see the boat ramp from where I was fishing. It was awesome. Memories. But throwing that DT6 on 6-pound mono on a fairy one, 7-foot medium to medium light. Can't go wrong there. You're gonna catch up here in the Pacific Northwest. You're liable to catch rainbow trout, cutthroat, all different types of trout. Maybe bluegill, maybe a crappie, maybe even yellow perch. Some of our lakes have smallmouth, largemouth, and all the other fish. So you're gonna probably end up catching something, especially on those blade baits. Those blade baits can get insane. I hadn't had no 30-pound fish type day with the blade bait, but just a matter of time. If I keep at it, I guess. All right, come on, I'm ready for a bite. I'm ready to rip some lips. Skip. That was a shit skip. Still got it in there, but man, it definitely spooked whatever was sitting there. That's a big ass dock. Got to be a fish under there. Brandon, get your ass over here and scan this dock for me, bro. I got a duck. Scan it. Damn. Holidays are coming fast. Well, you know it, we're gonna be at Christmas. Come on, Tina, Tammy, Gina, the whole fam. Come out with your Christmas half shirt on. Come on, fishy, fishy, fishy. Nice good old rip rap right here. I should skip one underneath that catwalk. About a 6 out of 10 right there. That skip. There's 6.6. Nope. No taker. All right. Goose on the loose? Not yet. Still just one bite. One bite and one bite only. So I skipped underneath the dock back there, and I think it was up on the north end up there. Skipped one underneath the dock and had one thump it. But no connection on it. There's another inlet right here where these ducks are playing around, and then where these ducks are messing around over here, there's another inlet. That one's better than this one, but I still don't sleep on this one. But there's a little bit of in-between water that's just, this is what I'm doing. Instead of using up the battery on the motor. More than likely the fish are not going to necessarily be here. I feel like when there's waterfowl real thick in the area, I feel like it shoos the bass away. But I can't really confirm that. It's just a theory of mine. I don't know why a bass would hang out with ducks. But I don't know. I caught ones on top water near ducks, so I don't know. All right, welcome to watching me Swimbait 79. Thanks for tapping in on a Sunday afternoon. Fishing a Kitsap 7.8, middle of December in the PNW, in the Olympic Peninsula, the Pacific Northwest. Here we go. There's the mouth of it. You can see all the water. It wraps around this way behind that. I don't know what the hell that kind of bush or tree that is. But normally this whole area is covered in thick pads. And the water drops real low. And this becomes non-existent. But once the water comes up, it gets crazy. You see a little bit of bare ground right there as it drops right there. First little break line right there. We're like a third of a cast from the shoreline. There's another little lay down right here with a stick sticking up all the way to that corner right there. The last couple of weeks, I've caught some key fish in areas that I normally don't pay attention to. But what that tells me is I need to pay attention to where I'm catching those fish at, because then that's something new for that time of the year with these similar conditions, which have been abnormally warm here in Washington State. Lots of precipitation. We just got done atmospheric river. Did not really blow up too many lakes over here on the Olympic Peninsula that I could see. Blew out a few of them over in King County, Pierce County area, over there by Rainier. Lake X is kind of blown out right now from what I heard. Blown out being like chocolate milk. But that area is in a convergent zone as far as weather. And it does get some really weird, strange weather. There's tornado warnings over in that area. All types of crazy shit. That's where I time my snowstorm. All right, come on, come on. Dump, the dump, dump, dump. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? I caught that 3.6 over here. Right at the mouth of this. Right at the boat. I'm in maybe 2.25 foot of water. Just over 2 feet of water. It kind of varies here at the mouth. It is starting to drop to 3 foot now. But there's like a little bald spot right there, just past these little spike ups. Pole. We'll try to get this area first, and then we'll go for the mouth of it. There's a few clumps of grass too. Waiting to get wrecked. Go for the mouth. That's right, smack dab in the mouth. Yeah, so that creek goes back up, goes around that house, comes up, but the mouth of that is just, it can be phenomenal. I've caught multiple fish off of the mouth of this. I like back-to-back casts with spinnerbaits. Oh, Swimbait 58 caught a PB in this area as well on a spinnerbait. As he comes down from Alaska to go fishing for hunting. He's probably watching right now. Oh, what was that? Oh, that current's ripping right there. Oh, I'm about to swing on it. I felt the bait moving. There's a little current seam right there. It's ripping. Watch my bait. See if you guys can see it. Right there. Oh yeah. Maybe 5 foot of water right there that has current ripping. So that tells me maybe something just sitting there like a vacuum with a mouth open. It's ripping outward. It's not even ripping because I can't even see it until I got right up on it. Yep. That's cool. Super cool. You don't see that type of stuff that much. You can see that whole yard flooded right there. Doink. Lots of overhanging bushes. Shit. How many times do you find a main lake point with a creek on it, with a major creek? Get chomped. All right, check the chat. Usually can't go over this area, but the water's so high. Normally my trolling motor will drag. In the summer, the back big motor will drag in that area. Hello to all. Yep, freaking lights are coming on. That must be at sunset, at dusk. It's 3:55, so I probably have about 30, 35 minutes, 30 to 45. All right. I'm gonna turn the trolling motor up to 100. We're gonna get to covering some water. We're swinging for the if we get skunked. Don't matter to me. I know it's of effort. Channel, be sure to check out my newest video that released today. Cold weather box. I want you to create your own little cold weather box for your area and drop a comment below on the video and let me know what you got in that box. Soft plastics other than like jig trailers in the video, but I could have went with drop shot, something that's really gonna, if you needed to catch a fish, this is gonna catch you a fish for that time of the year, which is winter. Because a lot of my tackle I take out, I hadn't taken out all my tackle, but just, yeah, I got a bunch of dumb shit still in the boat from summer. Extra weight. At some point, I'll be taking everything out of the boat. You never know, you might have Fatty McGee patrolling this shoreline right here and just wants to thump this Kitech. Old freaking Tina went for a little Sunday stroll and, oh, look at that bait. She's licking her lips, slobbering. I do have a few big things coming in 2026 for my channel. So I'm excited for that. As my channel is ever so growing. Got to grow with it. And that's a perfect ambush spot right there for one to come up and smoke that. That's like a total wintertime dock right there, I feel like. Same with these reeds. I don't know if they got the depth. There's 2.3 feet of water out here. I don't know if it has the depth for winter, but resident shallow bass that winter, spend winter up shallow. Normally they suspend inside of that grass, or they get real tight inside that grass. Around docks, they just suspend or hug bottom. Come on, there should be one on here, man. Doink. I check the chat. Appreciate everyone tapping in on Sunday afternoon. Grandmaster Franklin, yeah, buddy. I don't know. We've had a very mild late fall. Normally, our late fall gets cold. But it's been very mild. Lots of precipitation. Lots of storms. We didn't have our traditional cold fronts come in right before Thanksgiving that normally signal winter here in the PNW, at least on the Olympic Peninsula and much of Western Washington. But yes, it's almost Christmas. I think it was just last week I caught my biggest December bass, 4 pounds, 11 ounces on this very Swimbait, very setup. Off an area that's coming up. Had a trout tail sticking out of its mouth. Water temp right now is 48.45. There's sometimes that it's like low 40s by now. The water temp is warm, but a majority of the fish are still wintering and been wintering for over a month. At least a majority of them. At least that's my feedback. Man, somebody's cooking something. That shit smells good. Man, that shit drive me crazy. Damn. Damn. Come on, fish. Come out and crank this one. Let me rip Tina's whole mouth open. Shit, I'm seeing headlights. It's getting dark. Yeah, normally this water temp is a lot colder. Normally I kind of be fishing other lakes. But this water temp's 48 degrees in mid-December. That's crazy. That's why I've literally done my cold weather box like a month from when I did it last year. A month apart. And that's just because of the crazy weird weather we've had. Back-to-back cast. Probably about a month and a half ago. I never saw that bitch again. She tried to smoke this thing the second time. And she still missed the fucking thing. Oh. Love them fat girls. Fat green girls. I love them. Definitely 6+ pound fish. The amount of water that son of a gun moved. She wanted every bit of this swim bait. But normally this time of year, I'm throwing like a crankbait, a square bill, a fin-sided crankbait, a jerk bait. I'm not fishing so much magnum size baits. But like I've been saying, this year's a little bit different, been different. If our winter's going to be this mild, We're gonna kick that season off late February. We're gonna be schwacking them. Gotta take a few weeks off here towards the end of December. I gotta tear up the boat. I gotta fix a few things on the boat. I'm gonna add a few things on the boat. So therefore I'm be kind of winding down from here to Christmas. I still be posting stuff, but my actual fishing and maybe the live streams will be toned down just for a minute while I do some fixes on my boat, as I fish pretty much every weekend. I take much of January off and most of February, but I kick my season off towards the end of February. And I may have maybe 4 weekends from late February all the way till like Thanksgiving. I fish every freaking weekend. I fish hard. So there's a boat. There's some stuff that just the front deck and the rear deck and the framing, all that stuff, just to make sure everything's all sound. I gotta tighten the trolling motor down from fishing in rough water and beating the shit out of the boat and just wham, wham, wham out in rough water, which I really love doing. But yeah, this boat handles it. It's just upkeep that I personally like to do just to stay ahead of shit. Because if you think about it, this is a mini bass boat. It's like 15 foot long, got a 25 horsepower 4-cycle Yamaha on the back. It scoots between a flat bottom and a V bottom. She was made in 1988, so it's definitely an old boat. It's all riveted together, so you have to kind of do some upkeep on the rivets, make sure that they're in tip-top condition. But yeah, just normal your screws you need to tighten up or change, pull out, change. I even put a drop of silicone over the top of the heads of most of the screws that I'm not gonna have to mess with, just to keep the moisture out. This boat is garaged. It's not a finished garage, but it's a garage nonetheless. So I get to have fans in there, kind of air drying it out for me after big storms and shit like that, which is very handy. Selling this boat, as I'll be looking to get just a little bit bigger boat. Come on, biggin, this is the time. All right, we're coming up on that 411 spot. It's just some cinder blocks that extend out into the water. I know that I've caught fish off of that spot before when the water is high. When the water is low, they don't really, it's not such a magnet. But right now with the water being so, oh yeah, it's a perfect fish to cinder block and go right over the top of it. And that son of a gun, that fat, filthy fish already had another trout tail sticking out of its mouth. That top of that trout tail was probably this wide. There's at least an 8 to 10 inch trout that it just smoked. Big old fat stomach, bulge on its stomach. So it's just beyond this dock right here. Just on the other side of it. To me, this is a pretty high percentage piece of cover right here. We're gonna go for it right now. Right, not as far as I needed to go with it. Well, I just tapped that cinder block. I felt the blade hit the cinder block. Sometimes speeding up like that will incite a riot, and that fish will flip that light switch, and that fish will come out and just rage on that bait. There we go. You can see the cinder block right there, that little piece of grass I was just messing with. Hey, cut out. Cutting out. It's back though. Yeah, buddy. That's awesome. That cinder block is a cool little setup right there. All right, 4:15 is getting down to the bare minimum. That bite's gonna happen. It's gonna happen next 10-15 minutes. For those that are watching right now, I encourage you to go and check out some of my other content, some of my other long length videos. I did just release one earlier today, but check out some of my older fishing content. I'm a big person in top water. I just recently got into swim baits, even though my name is Swimbait 79. But I'm really a top water fanatic, big baitist. I love throwing big baits, catch big bass, or at least better than quality or better than the average size bass. I felt like we would have got bit if we were going to get bit. It still happened. But the hope of getting bit and getting a bite is fading away fast. Definitely not for a lack of trying. Can't catch a fish every time we go. We're not throwing your average size bait. We're not looking for fish under 3 pounds. We're looking for fish 3 to 5 pounds or 5 pounds or bigger. The average size fish that I catch on this swim bait is a 3 to 5 pound bass. I can throw this swim bait all freaking day and not even be tired of it. Compared to other swim baits, Damn. You always want to fish a little down to the shoreline. Definitely looks like somebody launched a boat. There's a perfect spot to get bit. Crank my shit right now. I'm ready to rip. Come on. Come on, Gina. Tina, Tammy. Somebody. Wake up. I know you're hungry. Even though you ate 3 times before you came over. Well, even if I get skunked, it still beats sitting on the couch. Or a recliner in my case. I get some of the best sleep in that recliner. Passed out. 12 hours on the water. Like I'm about to do when I get home after I put away all my shit. I'm gonna eat something and then pass out. Right in the tree. I remember I was fishing with Daiwa's King back in the early fall, and we're going the same way right here. I threw a single bladed buzzbait right over there. I had a good one come up and just kiss that thing right here. Like a 3+ pound. Oh man, beautiful sound. That bass just coming up and smashing the fire out of that buzzbait. I want that for an alarm clock on my phone. The sound of a buzzbait racing in, and then a big kapow sound at the end. Be pretty sweet. Come on, fishy, fishy. The hope of finding a fish is slipping away. Be the move base for by the bass. Not a lack of effort by me by any means. I only got to like set the hook one time today. Catch the fish. Oh well. Hey, at least I'm swinging the hook, setting the hook in the month of December here. Yeah. Yep. All right, that just cut me off again. So, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for the stream today, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I could not catch a fish. I tried. It was not for a lack of trying. If you hadn't gotten with this Kitsap bite, you need to. I appreciate each and everybody that's watching. Until next time, Swimbait 79 out.